Are sitcoms being replaced? Yes, and I think it's already happened. In today's video, I want to talk about how I believe that sitcoms have been replaced with YouTubers and streamers. My first claim is around the fact that sitcoms lost their title as their main form of entertainment due to the format. So I'm going to get into two different parts here. The first is the amount of episodes and the amount of time that these series would often run. So take a show like How I Met Your Mother or Big Bang Theory, Friends. To be honest, you can use any of those shows. They ran for basically decades, individually a decade each, and had 20 to 25 episodes each per season. Now this yielded two things. One, tremendous loyalty, not only for the show and the routine of having that show in your life for a very long time, but two, the relationship, the fundamental relationship you build with certain characters over that time. You go through certain things at the same time in life. Take a show like The Office, for example. People who are watching that in real time, maybe they were starting early stages of their relationship, whether it be dating a partner, and going through that period of watching Jim and Pam, going from a situationship to dating to marriage to kids. That would have been so cool to watch alongside your life actually happening. Now, today we have an issue, right? One, there's not many sitcoms that come out which are that amount of time, and two, they come out in one go because they come out on streaming services. They don't come out weekly like they used to. Now, this causes some issues. The first issue being that the fact that you're able to binge it means that you're able to move on with your life quicker. That's not necessarily a bad thing. You're able to get through the content well, even if the show is great. It just means you get through it quick and it's more difficult to build that relationship with the story and with the characters. But the other side of things is that due to the nature of people today, people have shorter attention spans, so that the model of a 23 episode show just doesn't exist. But it kind of does on a different world, which is YouTube and streaming. It's not quite the same thing, but something that the YouTube world and the streaming world have an advantage of, they get to get both sides of the benefits of traditional media, right? You can build upon that type of person who loves to just be a loyalist and get content every single day, the same way that you might have had a routine of Modern Family on a Monday, Big Bang Theory on a Tuesday, How I Met Your Mother on a Wednesday, whatever it might be. You can have that with YouTubers and streamers where they'll stream 5 to 7 times a week or upload videos every day or every week. There's enough YouTubers you can build a relationship with where you're able to have that routine. But the other side is you're also able to binge. You get both sides, right? Because they have these massive catalogs of content, and for the most part the standard of YouTube has just improved year upon year upon year. Even though that the feel of YouTube has changed and there's been a shift from more high production to more authentic feel as of late, the point is that there's a tremendous catalog of content for you to go back and binge upon. So kind of streaming and YouTube wins on both sides here. My next point is more specific to why sitcoms are falling off and less so about YouTube, and it's because the definition of comedy has changed. In recent years, when we think about what are those like iconic comedies what we think of, it's shows like The Bear or Ted Lasso. And I'm not hating upon those shows. I love The Bear and I love Ted Lasso. I think they're excellent television. But if we really compare them to the other comedies from a decade ago, and you look at, say, The Bear and you compare that to Big Bang Theory, in terms of acting, writing, and the overall feel it gives you, The Bear is on another level. It is just better. But that was the thing about sitcoms a decade ago. They didn't have to be good, they just had to be fun, easy to watch, not controversial, and able for you to sit there for a very long time and want to keep coming back for more. It had to be compelling enough to get you to come back to more, so it had to have some story and some soul and some ounce. But if you look at the level of emotional scenes you have in shows like The Bear and Ted Lasso, it's just a different level, it's a different league now. It's made it more competitive, and my reason as to why these shows are the way that they are is because you have to play that game now. It has to be an incredible performance to captivate audiences. If you made a show like Big Bang Theory today, it just wouldn't work. People don't have the attention span for it. It's just background noise. That's all it is. And that's why half the time when people do rewatch and binge these shows, it's basically because they have a phone in their left hand doom scrolling, and it is what it is. It's background noise. My next point is around people and individuals, and for me it's the diversification of personalities. Now that sounds really technical, but I'm going to break it down into why I think this has consequentially led to the downfall of sitcoms and the rise of YouTubers and streamers. In years past, there was a limited amount of options you can watch your interest on a screen. And that sounds really complicated. I'm going to put it simply. Say you like comedies, because we're talking about sitcoms right now. If you had a particular type of interest you liked, like you liked nerdy culture, there wasn't that many places to go. It was basically just a Big Bang Theory. Say it was that you only enjoyed watching a certain type of comedy, like you couldn't stand laugh tracks. I mean, I was somebody who didn't really like hearing laugh tracks in backgrounds. That limits your options to shows like Parks and Rec or Community or The Office. right? But there wasn't that many options. Like in totality, in terms of great sitcoms from that kind of mid 2005 to like, 2018, 19 kind of run, you're talking about maybe 15, 20. I'm not really sure, but it's not that many. It's nothing in comparison to the amount of options you have in YouTube and streaming now. And that's the thing. You can be within a community and feel very engrossed into it, have a wealth of content and a wealth of entertainment around any interest you might have now. And that's actually kind of a wonderful thing, because no matter what hobby or interest you have, it's not that hard to find a community of people who make that content around it online. If you're into like kind of more nerdy culture, like I am, about movies and superheroes and economics and philosophy, you can find people who make videos about this. If you're into just kind of more just pure video games, there's the just chatting streamers trend, like what's just blown up, is that all these people have cultivated these communities around their personalities of like-minded individuals, and subsequently that is what the models become, like really fractioned, but it's kind of cool because everybody is able to find their community, their people, their interests, their hobbies. And the fact that there is kind of less avenues, like in the past there was less avenues, that kind of did yield another pro, is that you could find common footing with people and many people watch the same shows, and it became a talking point, right? And now you find that you're often telling people, oh, do you watch this? And the answer is either yes or no, and most of the time it's no. And when you do have a yes, you're able to form a really cool relationship, and that's where the communities today are so strong, fan bases are so strong. But most of the time, people have their people, and it's less kind of, sparse and put apart. I think it's a really interesting phenomenon. What happened, it basically all kicked off since COVID, just because in COVID there was such a demand for entertainment, and streaming and YouTube filled that void with 24/7, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions of hours of content on basically like individual topics. It's no surprise to me that with that combined with shortened attention spans and the way that people have changed, that sitcoms were bound to die. If you found this video interesting and you enjoy kind of discussing these more abstract concepts around TV, media, and philosophy, whatever it may be, please give this video a like and subscribe. I try to make a good 3 to 5 videos a week. Thank you for watching.